Uh, Hello everyone. This is Vineet, uh, and welcome to today's webinar. Minitab Need to Know Normal Distribution. So this webinar is in series of the webinars which we are doing. This is fifth in the series of Minitab Need to Know, and the topic for today is normal distribution. I am Vineet, principal data scientist here at Square Circle Global, hosting this webinar today. So just before I begin, this is how the webinar will be. So this webinar will be recorded and shared with you. So please check up our follow-up emails to access that link. Your opinion matters to improve our webinar offering. So please share your thoughts in the link provided in the end, or you can email to me or Sameer. We won't pause for questions during the session. Mics are muted, so please ask your questions in the chat panel. I'll take a look at them in the end if time permits, and I will try to send you a response over the mail. You can send me questions through email also. Okay, so let me just move forward. So this is so let's start with a few words about the Minitab. Minitab delivers a comprehensive and best-in-class suite of statistical analysis and process improvement tools. So with that Minitab, we have SPM, which is Salford Predictive Modeler, which is our platform for machine learning and predictive analytics. There is Companion, which is for continuous improvement project management, and we have a quality trainer also, an online e-learning course, and which is online e-learning course and animated lessons. Recently, we also launched Minitab Workspace, which will enable you to move forward with powerful visual tools, processes maps, diagrams, with a more intentional interface. On the services side, we offer training year round, and you can also bring Minitab trainer to your company to teach your staff. So this is just some of the clients of Square Circle Global in GCC and in the other regions. So you can see there are all the Fortune 500 clients. They use our services. This is me. This is my profile. I'm Vineet. I have 15 years of experience in data science, analytics, and quality control. So prior to this webinar, there is a series of 4 webinars which has already happened, where we looked in how do you import data into Minitab, how do you stack worksheets, how do you sorting, checking, finding, making new variables. Then we looked into first pass analysis. How do you take initial look at the data before going for any of the big analysis, for example, of any kind of statistical quality control, process capability, or whatever you want to do, what kind of things you wanted to take a look in your data. So this is also covered in one of our previous macros, previous webinars. And the third thing which we learned more about is about the macros. How do you automate your daily routine tasks using Minitab? So this is how we learned. This is very similar to Excel macros. So if you want to learn more about these topics, you can go to datatools.me and you can watch the recordings. I think somebody is pinging, yeah. Okay. So you can please go to datatools.me and you can watch the recordings there. So let's start with today's topic, which is normal distribution. So today we will look at what is normal distribution. I'll try to cover quickly exactly what is we are trying to do in normal distribution. This is one of the important concepts, as in statistics. Most of the analysis which we do, it is based on normal distribution. There are analysis for non-normal data also, but today we will focus on normal data. So we'll look at normal distribution. We will look at use of normality and what are the properties of normal distribution. And then we will look today in Minitab, how do you test whether your data is normal or not. Okay. So moving on to this. So now if you look at one of our webinars, data can be distributed or spread in different ways. It could be left skewed, or like it is spread more on the left. It could be right skewed, or more, you can see here from the figure, it could be more so on the right, or it could be something like all jumbled up, like you have the data all over the place, and then the frequencies of every of the digits can be all over the place. So the data can be spread in different ways. Now, if your data is having, but there are cases, for example, here, okay, somebody wants to admit, okay. So, but there are many cases actually where the data tends to be around a central value. and there is no bias, something on the left hand side, on the right hand side, and it gets close to a normal distribution, which is something like which is shown in this figure. So this is a bell curve, and it is known as a normal distribution curve. And the histogram, this histogram shows some of the data that follows it very closely. This curve, the red line, this is the normal curve, and this data is actually following it very closely, not perfectly, but this is something which we take it as usual. Now, this type of curve is often called as bell curve because it looks like a bell actually, something like this. So that is why this is also known as bell curve. Now, many things closely follow a normal distribution. So something like height of the people, size of things produced by machines, any kind of productions in environment, errors in measurements, if you take that, that also follows a normal distribution. Blood pressure, marks in a test. So these are just some of the examples where you will see the data is following a normal distribution curve. So let's take an example here that in a production line for auto company, which makes wheels. The production line manager of the auto company samples 5 wheels every hour and measures the diameter of each wheel and computes the average diameter of each sample. So here you can see there is a 16, there is 15.9. This is the diameter which averages. He has taken average of all the diameters he has taken. Now here is a histogram of all the wheels sampled during a day. So the mean here is 16 inches and the standard deviation is 0.004 inches. So here our target diameter is 16 inches. So if we take such sample measurements for several days, the distribution of diameter is, and we assume that distribution of diameters is stable over time, and then it will follow a symmetric distribution. Symmetric means, again, on the, if you make a center line, the data points on left and right hand side will be equal. You will see very soon. So the histogram shows the distribution of individual wheels. Okay, now you might want to know if the sample means vary from sample to sample, or if the process remains stable. Now in this case, the answer will depend on how large the samples is. So let me go here. So here you can see, as the sample size increases, the spread of the sample means decreases. So the spread of the sample means decreases. So this is why the sample mean is a good statistic for estimating a population mean. Okay, just spread of a population mean. So the larger the sample, the better the estimate. So notice, as the sample size increases, the sampling distribution, here the distribution becomes more and more like a bell-shaped distribution, which we saw when we saw the previous slide. And it's sampled from a symmetric distribution. So now we can make a general statement actually when we look at the relationship we just saw in the last graphs. With large enough samples, regardless of the distribution we are sampling from, the sampling distribution of mean, actually all the diameters or the mean, is approximated by a symmetric curve, symmetric around the center line. By a symmetric, and it's a bell-shaped distribution. This bell-shaped distribution is called as normal distribution, and the mean of the central value of the distribution, it determines the location of the curve on the graph, and the curve is actually symmetric about this mean. The mu here you can see, this is the mean, and the curve will be symmetric around this mean. Now a normal distribution is symmetric around its mean, which in this case is same as the population mean. So it usually is similar to a population mean, which we usually test actually in our hypothesis test. The spread of normal distribution is determined by the standard deviation. So here the sigma, you can see how far any of the values in the distribution curve, how far they are from the center or the mean. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Why do we use normality, and what are the properties of these normal distributions? So see, the normal distribution has a very interesting property. So regardless of the mean and the standard deviation, the area within one standard deviation around the mean is always the same. Okay, so if there is a mu, which is a center line, one standard deviation away, there is always uh, the the area is always the same in this graph actually, which we say, which is 68.26%. So and this is true for every normal distribution. So whatever is the mean, whatever is the standard deviation, for every normal distribution, 68.26% of the distribution is contained within one standard deviation of the mean. And similar property holds for any number of standard deviations. For example, for normal curves, 95.45, this one, of the distribution is contained within two standard deviations from the mean, and 99.73 within the three standard deviations. Now this is very important because we take these uh, uh, the percentage of distributions in our many analysis. I'll say it's all control charts. We take a look at these standard deviations away, how many standard deviations away the process is going. We also take care of it in hypothesis test. I'll just go through that. And because of this property, we talk about a value in normal distribution in terms of number of standard deviations, which is z score. You might have heard about z score and z value. So it is actually the how far any value is in terms of the standard deviations. For example, two standard deviations away, three standard deviations away, so the z score will be 1 or 2 based on that. So here you can see one of the properties is, for a normal distribution, mean, median, mode, this is like the ideal condition. Mean, median, mode all will be equal. The curve will be symmetrical about the center. 50% of the values will be less than the mean, 50% of the values will be more than the mean. Now coming on to the uses again, normal distribution is very important. If you go for something like a hypothesis test, we want to know, for example, a production manager wants to draw statistical inferences about how well the production process is going from normal distributions. And then once we have a clear understanding of our data or for our normal distribution, we can use it to answer questions like, for example, what is the probability that a wheel will not meet specifications, and how likely the sample mean is close to the process mean. So this is the kind of test which we do through with the help of the normal distribution. So for example, in this chart, 31% here of the wheel diameter is below 16 inches. So if you see here, the process is a little bit shifted towards the right hand side. You can see the middle line, the mean line, it is more around 16.003 or 4, you can say. And most of the means the wheels which the production line is making, it is around 16.004. So we might want it exactly around 16. So it depends on the specification limits. So 31% is below 16, then 27% is between the two lines, and 42% is above 16.004. So we can know from the graph how many are below, what is the rejection in our process. So this normal distribution can help you to understand that, understand this. Even the hypothesis test, different hypothesis test, they make different assumptions around the distribution. These assumptions must be considered for when making a test or when interpreting the risk. For example, in a Z test, you might have seen Z test and T test, one sample T test, one sample, two sample T test. So they both assume that the data are independently sampled from a normal distribution. So if you want to test a mean of your machine, or you want to compare two production lines, uh, we assume that the data is coming from a normal distribution before comparing any of their means. So this is why normal distribution is very important. Even for process capability, if you want to test whether your process is capable or not, the first assumptions which we make in the process is stable over time, which is like a control chart. You might want to see that none of the process is going beyond your limits. Second thing is your your data is fitting the normal distributions. So there is process capability for non-normal data, but usually for normal data, it is an assumption that your data follows a normal distribution. So that is why you should understand what is normal distribution, and uh, how why it is important. The next thing is, if so all these tests, they require a normal distribution, how do you know whether your data is normal or not? Or you should go with some other kind of test which are there for non-normal data. So for testing the normality of the for testing the normality of your data, there are typically 3 tests. So the first one is the histograms. You want to check through the histogram. You can have normal probability plots, and you can have a hypothesis test also, whether your data is normal or not. So first is the simple histograms. So this is a histogram of wheel rim diameters. Now look at the normal curve that has the same mean and standard deviation as the data. Okay, so the curve is a good fit of the good fit to the data. This indicates that these data are modeled by any of the normal distribution approaches. So for example, here this data, we see that the bell curve, it's closely following that bell curve. So we can say, okay, our data is following a normal distribution. The second way, you can test it through a hypothesis test. So your null hypothesis will be data from a normal distribution. Alternative hypothesis test is data from not from a normal distributions. We are going to cover hypothesis test in our next webinar next month. So if you want to learn more about that, you can register for that also. So if we reject the null hypothesis, we conclude here that the normal distribution is not a good fit for the data. Now the third way of testing, which is the most common way of testing your data is normal or not, is through a normal probability plot in Minitab. So you can test your data. You can see whether your data is following a particular line or not. So the fitted line represent the assumed distribution. Here this is the fitted line, the red line. It assumes the distribution is normal. The dots are the actually these individual data values. So to determine if your data is normally distributed or not, we look at the plot and assess how closely the data points follow this line. If they are very far away from the line or something like this, we say it is not a normal distribution. Data that stray away from the line indicate that the data is not following the normal distribution. So notice that that this vertical value here, vertical axis, this is not evenly spaced. So if you stretch the axis, actually something like this. Okay, sorry. So if you stretch the axis so that the values are equally spaced, we will see a curve actually instead of a straight line. And on a curve, it is actually difficult for us to tell if the distribution fits the data or not. So the probability plot is scaled this way, so that we can view the normal distribution as a straight line, and more easily if the data values depart from the distribution or not. Okay, so let me just. So typically what we do, we go for an Anderson-Darling test in Minitab, and let's go and do this. We'll see how to do Anderson-Darling test to see if your data is normal or not. So let me just share my Minitab screen with you. Okay. So can you all see my Minitab screen? Anyone?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Let me just reshare my screen. Okay, now you can see it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the wheel rim diameter which you can see here, and I want to see whether it follows a normal distribution or not. So you can have typical like diameter values from two production lines. You can actually compare this to a target value, whether the mean of this data is equivalent to a particular target value or not. Okay, let me just go quickly to this. So we'll go to here, graph, go to probability plot. Okay, probability plot, we'll do a single plot. Here we have a diameter. Just a minute, some people are trying to admit now. Okay, so we will enter diameter and then just clicking this. Okay, So in Minitab software, the results of the hypothesis test are shown like in this probability plot. The Anderson-Darling test statistic, which is the AD, which is shown here, measures how much the data is deviating from the best fitted this normal distribution. So the p-value of the probability of the probabilities of the sample from the normal distribution, which is greater than AD, is greater than the p-value 0.19. And if you know about the comparing the p-value to the alpha, so which is the significance level for the test, we have used here alpha, which is the 0.05, 95% confident. In other words, in our data really are from a normally distributed population, and we have a 5% chance of incorrectly concluding that the data is not from a normally distributed population. So the p-value here is 0.191 greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis that the sample data are from a normally distributed population, and the hypothesis test here in this graph verifies that the data satisfy the normality assumptions, and we can go further for like capability analysis or any kind of other analysis which you want to go. So this is the plot which you Anderson-Darling test which you need to do. Okay, let me just wait. So okay, anybody having any questions? So this is actually what I wanted to cover today. Quickly a brief of what is normal distribution, how do you test your data. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now.
Yes,
Also,
please.
yeah.
Yeah, the y-axis is log, right? This is a logarithm plot. The percent on the y-axis.
Yes.
It is a
Okay.
logarithm, right? It's
Yeah.
not equally spaced. Okay. So,
Your voice is breaking. Say again, please.
this plot, which I see now, is a logarithmic plot.
Yes. Yes.
Right on the in the x-axis is the wheel rim diameter, and in the y-axis is the logarithm of the percent.
Yes, actually, this is the percentile of data which is following. Like how many data points are there? It is a kind of, I'll say, you can say it follows a not exactly the logarithmic part, but it is spaced in a way because let me go to the earlier slide.
Okay, percentile, huh?
So yeah, so actually the data points are something like this, which is following this. But if we want to test for that normal curve, if you remember that bell curve, and we
Yes.
want to test that, so we have actually spaced it something like this that it becomes a straight line. So the way it is done,
Okay.
and then we can check whether it is closely following it or not.
Okay, thank you.
And anyone else? Yeah. Okay. So we also offer actually training, Minitab certified training. I'm a Minitab certified trainer, so we do offer Minitab certified training, essentials 1 and 2. And you can check our Facebook page on Data Tools ME, facebook.com/Data Tools ME. And if you want to register for any of the certified trainings, you can go to our website datatools.me. You can register there, or you can just send an email to us if you want like a deep dive into several other analysis. How do we do it in Minitab? Thank you. This is all for today. So if you have any other queries, you can ask right now, or if you have something more, actually you can just send me an email.
Hello everyone. Thank you for attending today's webinar on normal distribution. We will be covering more advanced topics in the coming months to include hypothesis testing, design of experiments, and a recent feature of Minitab called CART, Classification and Regression Trees. Please talk to us if you are a consultant. We have a consultant program to orient you with adoption of Minitab tools and maintain an engaging relationship with your clients. Thank you.